What's up troops, it's me TheTacticalBrit and I'm back today with some brand new Rainbow Six Siege, and this is something that's going to be returning to the channel in some new and exciting ways. But today specifically I wanted to discuss some brand new news and also some rumours that are popping out at the moment. So, the new news. Of course, the Season 1 pass has finally ended after ending its support on December the 1st, and that's literally the last time the Season 1 pass is going to be applicable, and the Season 2 pass has now appeared on the store. On the PlayStation and Xbox stores at the moment, you can get a Season 2 pass. This includes a 10% discount, obviously, on all of your purchases, some extra renown up to 5% per game. It also includes 8 new operators, of course a week access early to the new operators, and if you buy it before February, you get an Obsidian skin, which is pretty damn cool. And anybody who owned the original Season 1 pass is going to get 600 Rainbow Six Siege credits, but there will not be any discount for Season 1 owners to buy the Season 2 pass, just simply the extra 600 credits. Interestingly enough, across the actual 8 new operators we're going to be getting in the Year 2 Season Pass, the actual description mentions 8 exclusive headgears and 8 exclusive uniforms, so we can presume now that we're going to get a free uniform and a free headgear with each operator that we're given per year if you own the Season Pass, which I think is a nice addition to the overall use of the Season Pass. Now moving on to some interesting, more speculative news. We do have the Season 2 pass confirmed, but a tweet that we cannot confirm the realness of today from a supposed official Ubisoft account has perhaps shed some light on what is going to be in the Year 2 Season Pass in terms of countries. So according to a message from an official Ubisoft account on a website called Weebio, which is the Chinese equivalent of Twitter, bearing in mind that in China they have their own versions of these things to avoid outside internet access, it mentions that there will be operators from Spain, China, Israel and South Korea. Now this is a very interesting move, but we kind of have to question the legitimacy of this. This was simply a screenshot that appeared on the Rainbow Six Siege subreddit, and although it is likely related to an official Ubisoft account, we have no way of verifying if that was what they were trying to say or whether that's an official tweet that was meant to be sent out. There's just a lot of variables that perhaps doesn't make this the most solid piece of evidence, but it's a good reference nonetheless. Now, the Israeli Special Forces are amongst some of the most active in the world, and I think many of us were anticipating seeing them in Rainbow Six Siege, although that might be slightly controversial on the sort of global political scale, but we'll see how that goes down with the community. South Korea is also an interesting option. The South Korean Special Forces train quite extensively with the US Marines, so it's really not a surprise to see them in the game, and that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Spain is a especially interesting option alongside China, because when you hear of Special Forces, those are the two countries that don't necessarily come to mind first. You sort of go through your SASs, your Navy SEALs, you go through Israel, you go through a couple of countries that make a lot of sense when it comes to counter-terrorist units, but China and Spain definitely aren't one of them. But it's an interesting choice, and it kind of does make me question the legitimacy of the source, but it would be really interesting to see them in the game. Now, personally speaking, I think these are great options for countries. I think China and Spain are a bit of a mix-up that people weren't anticipating, and Israel and South Korea are very renowned CTUs that I think would be welcomed additions to the actual title itself, so that's a great way of looking at it. But in terms of these specific divisions, I'm just going to name you the most sort of important CTU units of these individual countries. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, one country may have lots of different units. The SAS has their own sort of parachute regiment branch as well, the SASR, so there's definitely different units that could potentially be involved here. For the Chinese counter-terrorist unit, we could be looking at two options. There is the Beijing Special Police, which are a CTU unit that focuses specifically in the major cities of China, but there's also the Snow Leopard Commando unit, or Snow Wolf Commando unit, and the existence of this thing was only brought to light on the 29th of August 2006, so this is something that hasn't necessarily been around for a long time, or at least hasn't been known of for a long time, and they're tasked with everything from hijacking, bomb disposal and counter-terrorist across all of China, which is incredibly interesting and has roughly 400 officers. And I think in terms of just having interesting CTUs, I think think definitely if Rainbow Six Siege was going to choose a Chinese option, the Snow Leopard Commando unit would be one. The Spanish CTU is relatively simplistic. The Grupo Especial de Operaciones, may have said that incredibly wrong, but more formally known in English as the Special Operations Group, or GEOs, is the biggest Spanish counter-terrorist unit, and it does everything from organized crimes, assaults, CTU, and diplomatic protection. So they'll probably be the guys we see for Rainbow Six Siege. For the Israeli Special Forces, I think it's very simple that we may see the Yamam, and the Yamam is a Hebrew word for Special Police Unit, and even though this is one of 4 CTUs in Israel, this is one that is tasked specifically with hostage rescue operations and offensive raids and targets in civilian areas, and it also performs things such as SWAT as well, and undercover police work, so definitely one of the more advanced ones and ones that are a bit more fitting in the Rainbow Six Siege sort of dilemma and scenarios that we face in-game. And finally, for the South Korean group, we're likely to see the 707th Special Mission Battalion, and these guys have been working as a CTU since the 1988 Olympics on South Korean soil, and there's roughly 200 people in this, and they do everything from unconventional warfare, counter-terrorism, direct action, and military raids. And interestingly enough, South Korea is also one of those countries alongside Israel that has recently broadened up their horizons to have both genders, so we're definitely going to see some more female operators in the game, that's a guarantee. So take it with a pinch of salt, but those are potentially the counter-terrorist units on the table for the Season 2 DLC, and I'll be interested to see how exactly that pans out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video today. It's been me, the Tactical Brit. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon in another video.